On today's wrestling news, WWE aren't hoarding talent anymore.
Eva Marie may be returning as soon as Monday night.
Big superstar return on last night's SmackDown.
Erick Rowan, an update on his status with AEW.
Update on the match between Orton and Wyatt at the Royal Rumble. Are you ready? Are you ready for the news time? Yes, it's 2021. Happy New Year, everyone. But before we get going with today's wrestling news, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment down below what you think of all of today's stories, and links to each story is in the timestamps below. But first up, WWE. Now, we've got reports from Fightful about this, that at least half a dozen WWE superstars were offered new contracts recently, but they've said no. Now, there's no names as of yet, but I'm sure things will come out in the weeks to come. But the offers were said to be quite disappointing when you look at the kind of huge money deals that WWE were throwing around in 2019 when they were, let's say, a little bit wary of AEW and wanting to tie people down. They were, just desperate to stop the spread of talent and hoard as many people as they possibly could. But it seems like those days are no longer there in WWE. Now, obviously, last year, they released a whole load of staff. They released over 100 staff in total, from WWE superstars to the backstage crew and writing staff and like everything. Even though they had a year when they reported record turnover. So, there's that. The people that have turned down the recent contracts have said that they are still hopeful that WWE will come back with more significant offers once everything starts to sort of begin to return back to normal. But the biggest takeaway, I guess, from this is WWE not in that just talent hoarding, throw money at anyone they possibly can mode. Now that AEW has, I guess, cemented itself in the landscape of wrestling a bit more.
Yeah, it seems, obviously WWE has, you can't really say penny pinching because they have been offering deals, and if reports to be believed, Matt Riddle recently signed a new 3-year contract, which involves obviously a pay increase because he's now a fully-fledged member of the main roster rather than an NXT superstar. But it was like 2019 was that weird year where, obviously 2020 was totally weirder in so many more ways, but 2019 was that weird time when WWE got, obviously there was the Fox deal that kicked in. They moved to Fox in October 2019. So they had all these big TV deals that came in. AEW was on the horizon, and it was just like, right, sugar lumps, who can we tie down? How much money do I need to throw at these people? Scrooge McDuck levels of money being thrown around to tie people down for, it seemed to be 5 years. 5 years was like the deal that was on the table for everybody. 5 years, loads of money. And then obviously we get to April of this year and it's just like, sorry about that. We're going to have to let a load of people go, from office staff to wrestlers, and still manage to make record money, record turnover. Yay. God damn it. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out because, who knows when things will get back to normal in terms of a financial sense, in terms of a wrestling sense, in terms of the world. So, it depends on who the talent is and when their current deals are up. If the world doesn't get back to normal anytime soon, by the end of 2021, hopefully it does, of course. But if you've got talent whose contracts maybe run out this coming year, we're in it. It's crazy. It's 2021. Get it in my head. But if we've got talent whose contracts run out this year and WWE can't, doesn't think they can offer a decent new deal by then with what the sort of price tags that people are looking for, then there could be a load of people departing WWE. And there's, if ever, obviously, it's a strange time for wrestling, but if ever there was a time for WWE staff or WWE wrestlers to be looking elsewhere and thinking, maybe I could go there, it's right now, especially with how so many other companies are willing to work together. So even if you went to an AEW, that doesn't mean to say that you couldn't go and compete in ROH, in New Japan, in Impact, wherever, the NWA. All these companies, CMLL, all these companies are getting working relationships together. So it's a great time in that way. And I think, it'll be interesting to see how this all plays out. But while certain talents may end up departing WWE, one person who seems destined to return imminently is Eva Marie, the Red Queen, all red everything, whatever monikers you want to throw at her. Corey Graves' favorite wrestler in the world. Now, these stories surfaced back in October. I think the first time I heard about them, that Eva Marie was going to be returned to WWE. There was talk she might be a part of the WWE draft, which took place in October. That didn't happen. But now a new report from Fightful this states that the plan at the moment is for Eva Marie to return on Monday on the Legends Night Raw. Although those plans could change, of course, because WWE, but right now it looks like already everything's going to be back as of Monday. She was, supposedly the deal was agreed back in September for it to return to WWE. She's been at the Performance Center. She was at a new story, well, a new element of this story from Fightful says that she was actually at a Raw taping on December the 14th last year, where she did some promo work, some vignettes, whatever, which will I presume we'll see in the next few weeks and months. So yeah, it looks like Eva Marie, who was last seen in WWE 2017, is going to be back on Monday, and I reckon you're so excited about this, Phil.
I actually am, to be honest. I also think that in terms of troll level of amazing, like that Eva Marie character, yes. Like back when she was like coming in, but she couldn't make it because her car broke down, and then coming in on Legends Night is just the perfect touch for this character. No one got heat like Eva Marie did back in the day. I mean, sometimes whether it was like for the right reasons, who knows? But it's hilarious and entertaining all the same, and I am very much excited to see what they do with it, and just hope that she still has that massive troll levels of heat, because it's just funny, isn't it? It's just fun.
Oh, totally.
And wrestling should be fun.
Yeah, as a character, she was brilliant. It's just in the ring clearly wasn't great, especially when at that time you've kind of got like the four horsewomen were coming into their own. It's like, so you've got Sasha and Bayley having these absolute 5-star bangers. You've got Asuka, and then it's like, and then you've got Eva Marie, who's in-ring work. Ooh, but it
almost played into it even better though, because everyone knew that she was not great.
I remember like there being like genuine fear at one point that she was going to dethrone Asuka when Asuka was on that massive tear in NXT, well undefeated. It's like
when she went against Bayley for the NXT Championship as well. Like, people were genuinely like, "Oh my god, what are they going to do?" And like no one generates that kind of thing in WWE these days. Yeah,
it'd be interesting to see where she lands up. Well, obviously by the looks of it, it's going to be on Raw, but it's like, and clearly you'd imagine probably a heel, but who knows with WWE? She's going to be the returning white meat babyface legend on Legends Night.
That is true.
I guess it's that point where they could do whatever they want, because Thunderdome. So
cheers.
They could present.
Even though all the screens are doing this, still cheers everywhere. But speaking of returns, Sonya Deville came back on last night's SmackDown. Finally, she's been off since SummerSlam last year. She was just seen sort of walking through the backstage area, and like the fellow superstars of the locker room looked kind of shocked that she was there. And then later on, she just put up on Twitter saying just a picture of her in a suit, just saying "Daddy's home." Very excited to see Sonya Deville back. Obviously, after the terrible things that happened last year with the real life sort of stalking and attempted kidnapping thing, just absolutely terrible story. But very excited to see that she's back. She had so much momentum going for her with that Mandy Rose feud, and they had that great match to end it all at SummerSlam. And so hopefully, she can get back some of that energy that she had going for her at that point, and just that she was just getting so good as a heel. Some of her promo work was like the best she'd ever been. And hopefully, there's something really big in store for her, because I think there's a lot of upside to Sonya Deville, and she's been missed, and a really good fit on SmackDown as well, I think.
Oh, nailed it, absolutely, yeah. I 100% agree. She was doing so well, just really coming into her own as a character, as a worker. She added, obviously she's always been presented as that with that MMA background, but she kind of added a whole another level of aggression to her work, both in a verbal performance and also in her in-ring work. And you just felt like once that Mandy Rose feud was done, and it wasn't even the case of it might not even have been done at SummerSlam. I would have been happy to see that go on a little bit longer. Yeah, but you thought that whatever was next for Sonya Deville, it's like at that point in time, you're thinking, right, next for her, she's going for that. She's going for that women's championship in a proper, meaningful feud, not just a one-off match on a SmackDown. So obviously, real life got in the way of all of that, and it's absolutely nuts just to think of all the story and then the details that came out of how long that. It's like proper turns your stomach, the thoughts of what this dude plan to do and how long you plan to do it for. But that's hopefully all, obviously I know that's been a legal issue, and hopefully that's all resolved now and she can move forward with her wrestling career. And it's good to see her back on SmackDown. I know previously she'd been drafted to Raw during her absence as part of the draft in October. But I think I mean, I think either brand would benefit from her being there, but I think at the moment SmackDown would be a good fit for her. And I'm looking forward to seeing who she starts slapping around, because it was just there was such an intensity to her before she left. And I think as well, at one point in time, she was a little bit hindered by Ronda Rousey being around, because if your gimmick is the MMA fighter and then they bring in one of the greatest MMA fighters in the history of the sport, who everybody's seen just beating the crap out of people live on pay-per-view, setting records, it's kind of hard to live up to that and not be seen.
I think to her credit as well, though, she embraced the sports entertainment side, possibly more so than any sort of former MMA person has done, in the terms of just developing her character and getting to the point where she really, really stands out on her own character-wise on a roster that's just full of talent. Just a shame they couldn't embrace what Mandy Rose had going for her coming after that that feud as well. And then they just kind of forgot about her and then moved her to Raw and put her in a tag team with Dana Brooke and forgot about it. It's like, you had so much momentum. Why couldn't you have just harnessed that and moved it somewhere?
Yeah, it's like it's excusable how you can maximize that with Sonya Deville, obviously, because she had to take time off. But like, there's no excuse for the Mandy Rose situation, because again, that rivalry brought a new side of Mandy Rose, again, more aggressive, she looked like a badass. And like you said, here she is on Raw, tagging with Dana Brooke, doing not much. Anyway, of course, everybody's still paying homage and tribute to Brody Lee and reflecting back on just a phenomenal tribute, a job that AEW did with Dynamite this past week. If you've not seen it, check it out ASAP. Even if it's just clips on Twitter or YouTube, it's such an emotional. As somebody that's lived through, was old enough to remember Raw is Owen and the Eddie Grau tribute shows. It's like they're hard watches, but the Brody Lee one brought. It was so poignant and so well handled by all AEW. And of course, one of the big, most emotional moments was seeing Erick Rowan, the former tag team partner of Luke Harper, as he was in WWE, of Brody Lee, of John Huber, together as the Wyatt family, then together as the Bludgeon Brothers, won the NXT Tag Team Championships and the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. So him coming out to lay out Wardlow and to help out the Dark Order and Hangman Page was, and then to come back out after that and pay his own tribute with the sign saying about he'll see his brother down the road. Man, I'm getting, tingles, goosebumps on that then. It was right, pow in the heart sort of thing, pow in the feels. Dave Meltzer, the Wrestling Observer, is an update on Erick Rowan's possible status with AEW. Now, people were wondering whether this was just a one-off appearance as a way to pay tribute to Brody Lee, or whether this was going to be the start of something more for Erick Rowan. And as per the Observer, right now, it was just a one-off appearance, which, if that's all it's going to be, that it was a beautiful one-off appearance. But of course, there is a possibility that down the line this could lead to something, that there may be a spot for Erick Rowan or Eric Redbeard in AEW down the line. But for now, it was just a really nice moment, a one-off moment where somebody got to pay their respects to their fallen friend and partner and brother on the road, and it was beautifully handled. And I mean, I'd like to see more from Eric down the line. Eric, I need to get in the habit of calling him Redbeard and not Rowan, so I'll just call him Eric because that covers all bases. I mean, I'd like to see more from him down the line, and hopefully something happens with that. But for now, it was just very much a piece of time on its own, standing as a really poignant tribute to Brody Lee. Yeah, absolutely. Just nice of them to think about bringing him in just for that sort of moment. It just sort of bookends both sides of Brody's career in WWE and AEW. It's just, like you say, just a really nice touch. But to finish off today, we reported earlier on in the week that there was a possible match between Orton and Bray Wyatt at the Royal Rumble. Well, the Wrestling Observer seems to be confirming this now, and the fact that it's going to be the return of the Firefly Funhouse match at the Royal Rumble. Obviously, the last time we saw the match was at WrestleMania last year against John Cena, and it was fantastic and weird and brilliant. So who knows how they're going to top that? I don't know how you managed to do it, especially, I guess, with Randy Orton. You can go into the voices that he hears in his head or whatever. I don't know how they're going to do it. But I tell you what, I am definitely interested to see it. Oh, totally. When I was reading about this morning, the first thing that hit me was like, oh, oh God, WrestleMania 36 was ages ago now. And WrestleMania 37 is going to be here in 3 months, basically. It's like, oh, holy moly, holy cow, as Roddy Piper would say. We were hoping for the triple cage match, a la WCW. Yeah. I was hoping for David Arquette. We knew it was going to be some crazy match at the Rumble, and now we know it's a Five Live Funhouse match. And it's like, well, I guess we'll get maybe different incarnations of Randy Orton pop up, but then visually he's always been pretty much the same throughout his career.
Yeah, that's the thing. He's still always worn the same thing. It's not like John Cena where you've got really obvious visual representations of his stages of his career, like through the prototype and rapper Cena and things.
Maybe they'll play up, I don't know, maybe they'll play up the stories of him taking turds in people's bags. That'll be something that will visit.
Or putting his hands down his pants and shaking people's hands.
Yeah, exactly. That is it. That is an idea now. Oh God.
I guess now that we've just started thinking about past versions of Randy Orton, you could always bring back all the legends that he killed as the legend killer and things like that. The ghosts of Randy Orton past kind of thing.
I like that. So I was trying to think. I've got obviously Jake Snake, Jake Roberts, who's now with AEW.
Flair, Foley.
Yeah. Sure, he did some. In my head, I've got Harley Race, but I don't think so. There
was a lot of them.
There was Dusty. There was Hogan, brother.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, when he laid him out with the RKO in the car, that was a cool spot, actually.
Yeah.
I don't know. And maybe you've got Evolution Randy, so he can wear a suit. I'm just thinking of, like I said, visually, in terms of visuals, there's not much difference. I mean, he had his shaved head, and he had hair, he had shaved head, and he had hair, got a little bit leaner, got big again. And it's like, okay, all in the same trunks and boots. And then obviously it's what we'll see from Bray Wyatt as well, from The Fiend, because we saw different elements of Bray Wyatt in the WrestleMania match with John Cena. So do you go over them again? Do you think of new ways to do that?
You've got the House of Horrors match stuff that you could bring in at some point.
No,
obviously they're going to.
They're going to. It's just in my head. I'm like, no, we're not. It's like, yeah, they are. They totally are.
Amazing moment at WrestleMania where it's the grandest stage of them all, and then there was maggots on the thing.
Oh, well, it looked like he was being chased to the ring by a sperm, as Randy himself said.
And
then he had a really disappointing match. Bad. Yeah, there's I don't know, maybe thinking about it, maybe they throw in some sort of Luke Harper tribute, Brody Lee tribute, because obviously there was at that point in time
maybe with the Wyatts,
yeah, because there was at that point where when Randy joined the Wyatts and then he had the kind of the dissension with Harper, and there was a time when we all thought maybe that WrestleMania match was a triple threat with Luke Harper involved. So maybe they pay tribute, use this to pay tribute to Luke Harper, to Brody Lee, to John Hoover. Maybe they bring in Erick Redbeard. I don't know. Eric Rowan for a spot. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe you get Cowboy Bob Orton. I don't know what shape he's in these days, but maybe you have him in for a spot as well. Bo Dallas.
A lot of stuff you can do.
Know. Yeah, and you can even, if you want to delve deeper into the Bray Wyatt character and into Wyndham Rotunda, the man behind the character, you could bring in Mike Rotunda, his father. You could bring in Barry Windham. There's lots of stuff you can play with if you want to play with it, and not just retread the same ground in terms of Bray Wyatt that we did at WrestleMania 36. So it'll be interesting to see. It'll be a spectacle. It'll be something we'll all be talking about the next day. Yeah, let's hope it's good. And
it'll break up the card and stand out, and that's kind of what I like from these weird cinematic matches. It's just something a little bit different on a card. But let us know in the comment section below what you think will be happening in the Firefly Funhouse match at the Royal Rumble. And you can also follow us on Twitter. You can follow me at Fill My Chambers, and you can follow Andrew
at Cultured Left Peg.
You can follow all of us at WhatCulture WWE. Like I said, subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment below what you think of all of today's stories. Happy New Year, everyone. Here's to a fantastic 2021, and have yourselves a bloody good day. See ya.